Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar. We will start in a few minutes. Let's wait for more people to connect. Yeah, let's wait. And thanks everyone to thanks for being here. Okay, so let's start with this hair care webinar. Well, first, thank you everyone. Thanks for being here, for taking this time. And today, guess what? We have here Laura Cabrera, our expert in hair care and everything you want to know about it. Welcome, Lau.
Thank you, Mati. I'm happy to be here talking some few minutes about hair care and take a look about the problems we find in our daily routines in hair care. Thank you.
Okay, so sounds super interesting. So now let's start with this hair care webinar. Thanks, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our webinar. I'm Laura, and I'm the technical director of the hair division at Zurko. And I'm here to show you the secrets behind the exposure to exposome and the effect on the hair. At Surco, we are experts in evaluating the safety and efficacy of your products. We are an international company with clients all around the world. We conduct mainly in vivo studies, and we have over 25 years of experience in hair care testing. Last year, we were able to conduct over 8,000 studies thanks to our large database of panelists with more than 20,000 registered subjects. Now, let's have a look at the main market tendencies. The global healthcare market, valued almost $107 billion in 2024, is expected to nearly double by 2032, reaching $213 billion with a 9.4% CAGR. Europe currently leads with a 36% market share, while the US market is set to grow significantly, driven by rising hair related concern. Well, raising hair concern like graying, dandruff, and hair loss are driving demand for the hair care products. Consumers are increasingly focused on preventing damage, dryness, and breakage. Almost two-thirds of Americans over 35 have thinning hair, and as people age worldwide, the demand for hair care products keeps growing. Consumers are increasingly looking for a holistic approach to hair health. Most believe that using hair care products helps their hair look and feel healthier. And today, people spend more time on at home haircare routines, focusing on personalized solution and organic and natural products. In this webinar, we will look into the impact of the exposome on hair, talking about the effects we perceive on external parts, hair itself, as well as the internal on hair follicle and scalp. We'll examine how these factors impact hair health and its connection to the scalp. Additionally, we'll discuss techniques to evaluate whether our products can help counter these effects, enhancing both hair appearance and overall health. The concept of the exposome, introduced by Dr. Wild in 2005, refers to the full range of environmental exposure we encounter throughout life and their impact on human health. In the context of hair care, the exposome includes external factors such as UV radiation, pollution, and chemicals, as well as internal influences like nutrition, stress, and personal habits. Each of these factors can lead to structural changes in the hair. In this webinar, we will briefly describe their effects on both the external structure, comprising the cortical cortex and medulla, and the internal structure, including hair follicle and its different components. Hair is mainly composed of keratin, a protein that forms disulfide bonds responsible for its mechanical strength. It also contains hydrogen bonds and anionic bonds, which influence flexibility, as well as hair lipids that act as a protective barrier, helping maintain a structural cohesion. Additionally, hair contains melanin, which contributes to its color and overall properties. The cuticle is the outer layer of the hair shaft composed of overlapping keratinocyte scales that serve as a protective shield. This barrier helps ward the hair against chemical and mechanical damage. Today, hair is used more and more as biomarker to detect substance like pollutants, cortisol, or drugs. The exposome leads to various harmful effects on the hair, including oxidation, fragility, loss of hydration, color changes, and surface damage. We will explore each of these in detail. Let's start with oxidation and elasticity. This occurs when pollutants and chemicals create free radicals that break down proteins like keratin. As a result, hair loses strength and elasticity, making it more prone to breakage and damage. Free radicals also accelerate oxidative stress, which weakens the hair fiber, disrupts the cuticle, and contributes to premature aging of the hair. Over time, this can lead to increased porosity, rough texture, and reduced shine. We can assess this condition using a tensile test, which measures different properties of hair strength. This technique provides two key values: the mean break force, or the average force needed before hair breaks, and the maximum force, which is the peak force recorded before breakage. These measurements help us compare how well a product protects hair from external damage or repairs existing damage caused by the exposome. Since this is a quantitative analysis, it gives us precise data on a product's ability to strengthen the hair. Going deeper into fragility, exposure to the exposome through haircare routines affects the hair cross sectional strength. According to a 2024 article published by L'Oreal, this is the main factor behind the weakening of cortical cell bonds. As a result, hair loses cohesion more quickly, leading to the breakage and the formation of split ends. Using microcamera analysis, we can assess whether a product can reverse this damage or restore hair cohesion. We evaluate the number of treated split ends compared to a carefully selected set of split ends, and this method provides a quantifiable result of the product's effectiveness along with photographic documentation of the achieved outcome. This clearly demonstrates its ability to repair and reduce the split ends. Another effect of the exposome is the damage to hair's surface, specifically affecting the cuticle. As mentioned before, the cuticle loses its protective function, making the hair more fragile and prone to breakage. Over time, this leads to visible damage such as rough texture, dullness, and increased sensitivity to mechanical stress like brushing and heat styling. And this damage occurs because external aggressors like UV radiation, pollution, and chemicals gradually erode the hair's cuticle. Free radicals generate by this factor accelerate oxidation, breaking down proteins and lipids essential for cuticle integrity. By using electron microscopy, we can evaluate hair fibers and compare the effects of external damage caused by UV radiation, heat, or bleaching. This allows us to assess whether a product can protect the hair from these damaging factors or even help repair the damage. Regarding moisture loss caused by the exposome related damage to the hair fiber, the exposome contributes to moisture loss by disrupting the hair's natural lipid barrier, which is essential for the retaining hydration. This damage increases the water evaporation, leading to dehydration and weaker cuticle structure. As a result, hair becomes more porous, making it more sensitive to further damage and also freeze. We can assess these changes using the friction test, which helps quantify the impact of moisture loss and evaluate the effectiveness of hair care products in restoring hydration and smoothness. This technique allows us to measure the friction between damaged hair and hair treated with the product. By evaluating the force required to move along the hair fiber, we can determine the level of surface damage. A higher friction force indicates a greater damage. When combined with combing force analysis and electron microscopy imaging, this method provides valuable insights into the hair's moisture state. The friction test is closely related to the combing test as both assess the impact of exposome related damage on hair, combability, and styling properties. Increased surface damage and moisture loss make hair more porous and rough, leading to the higher friction and greater resistance when combing. By measuring the force required to detangle and smooth the hair, the combing test helps evaluate a product can reduce friction, restore smoothness, and improve overall hair health. Together, these techniques provide a comprehensive analysis of hair damage and the effectiveness of the protective or repairing treatments. The exposome also affects hair color. by speeding up oxidation and breaking down its natural pigment. UV rays, pollution, and chemicals create free radicals that damage melanin, leading to an early grain and color fading. Plus, when the cuticle gets damaged, hair becomes more porous, making it absorb and lose color more easily. This is why dyed hair fades faster when exposed to these factors. By studying these changes, we can see how exposome damage affects hair color and test how well products help protect or restore it. We use a colorimeter to measure color changes in hair with precision, allowing us to track fading over time. These help us compare the longevity of different color treatments and assess how well they resist exposure-related damage, such as UV radiation and washing, for example. In addition to color measurement with colorimeter, we use glossimeter to assess hair shine. A decrease in shine often indicates cuticle degradation and moisture loss, making hair appear dull. By combining both measurements, we can evaluate not only the longevity of color treatments but also their ability to maintain hair's natural radiance and smoothness. Now, let's move on to discussing damage to the internal structure of the hair, focus on hair follicle and scalp. The main types of damage include abnormal pigmentation, follicle miniaturization, and scalp damage. The best way to analyze this type of damage is through in vivo studies. Normal pigmentation occurs when oxidative damage, often linked to inflammation and reduces antioxidant defenses, leads to the loss of melanocytes. As a result, melanin production decreases, causing hair loss, its color over time. Therefore, it's important to see if the product is capable of reverting the loss of melanin by tracking the number of black and also white hair which have lost all melanin. These white hairs which have lost all melanin cannot be reversed, but distinguishing between white and gray hairs is possible also with colorimeter. In all of the in vivo studies, is it very insightful to add the consumer test? This allows you to get the subjective opinion of the consumers, giving you an idea of the acceptability the product may get once in the market. But that's not all. This factor also reduce hair density, shrink follicles, and make hair thinner and weaker by shortening the growth cycle. On top of that, exposome damage can slow down blood flow to the follicles, cutting off oxygen and nutrients, which makes hair even more fragile and prone to loss. To check what's happening with hair density, we can use the tricoscan to count if new hair appears after treatment with our product. If we want to measure hair loss, the wet and dry combing test help us to see if our product actually reduces shedding. And finally, to assess the hair growth cycle, we use the trichogram, which give us an insight into how the hair is growing and transitioning through different phases. The exposome plays a key role on the scalp by throwing off its natural balance. When problems start, dryness, irritation, sebum increase, even dandruff and sensitivity appear. Using different probes, we can measure how well treatments protect the scalp from exposure damage. These help us understand their effectiveness in maintaining scalp health and preventing issues like dryness, irritation, or excess of oil. To briefly summarize today's content, I would like to highlight some of the main points. Research shows that the exposome changes in hair structure and strength, but we can measure these effects using different techniques. Studying hair dresses and panelists help us develop better, more personalized products, ones that protect hair, restore color, boost density, and keep also the scalp healthy. And finally, moving forward, it's important for the industry to focus on exposome research and for both companies and consumers to do their part in reducing exposure and choosing sustainable solutions. Thank you for your attention. Now, let's take a look to the questions. I see some of them here. Okay, one of them said, do all our hair types react the same to the exposome, or does it depend on the texture, color, or thickness? I think not at all. So, hair type plays a huge role in how it reacts to the exposome damage. For example, fine hair is more fragile and prone to breakage, or thick hair is more resistant to breakage, but it can trap pollutants more easily. So it really depends on the type of hair colors, for example, also matter, or even texture. So yeah, for example, curly hair tends to be more porous and more sensitive. So yeah, that's the clue. Not all hair type react the same. Another question we have here: which test is the best for measuring hair health? Well, I think it really depends also. What are we looking for? If we want to see how easy it is to manage the hair, I think the combing test, for example, tell us the best information. But if we are checking for sure cortical damage and smoothness, then the friction test give us the answer. Or even if we would like to see the changes in color, the colorimeter for sure. So I think that the key at this point is to combine all these tests for a full picture of the hair health. We have a third question here. Very interesting, I think. Is there a specific age group that's more affected by exposome damage to hair and scalp? Yes, definitely age makes a difference. As we get older, cell regeneration slowdowns, the scalp is also affected, producing less sebum. So we start seeing this dryness, thinning, and gray hair. So older adults are more affected because their hair is already more fragile. But it's important also to take in mind that young people could be exposed to high level of pollutions, even UV radiation with sunbathing or oxidative stress. So it's can find also or can suffer hair damage.
Thank you so much, Laura, for this webinar. It was such an interesting topic, and thank you everyone who joined us. Probably a lot of you have questions, but we are running out of time. So please send us your questions to these contact details, and don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn. You can take a picture of the QR, and yeah, you will follow us automatic in on LinkedIn. And Lau.
Yeah, thank you, Mati. I'm happy, and I hope everybody finds useful the information and like this brief presentation. Yeah, I would like to add that we are going to be in cosmetics, the following trade show. I think it is
Yes.
in
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam this
Yes.
year, and also we will be in Cosmeto Test. You can visit us there in Lyon. So yeah, thank you for your time now, and you can visit again in the following trade shows.
Yes. Thank you so much. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this webinar. Thank you.